Hi, welcome back to I Am Soma, Nectar of the Gods. And I had to end the previous recording abruptly because I had someone at the door. I don't like it when that happens, but I had no way of controlling it. So I am back because I wanted to give you a little bit more information on Pluto and its impetus for transformation. Because I feel that during this time, if we engage the transformation, then it can be a softer energy, if one can even say that, because Pluto is simply this stealth bomber and it's not going to stop until you move in a way that is in alignment with your evolutionary purpose, with your divine purpose here. Pluto is thought of as the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega. In the Eastern sciences, Pluto has been thought to be Shiva, which is the very force of nature, is the very force of, is almost as if in its distant placement from in the most distant placement from in our solar system, it is directing the evolutionary force of the entire structure. And the recipient vessel of that being the human body and the earth, and then through the earth, the human body. And so it becomes an evolutionary purpose, an evolutionary principle of change. And due to its functioning at the level of the underground, the underbelly, the underpinnings of our philosophical ideas and that we hold dear, it does so by destroying them so that we can see beyond the immediate environment and perceive beyond the minutia and build from when we become too accustomed to having specific things in our life, then Pluto is that force that removes them so that we can see beyond to a new horizon and in that way engage in our own evolutionary process. It is a dual desire for a dual desire archetype. And I'm going to read from a book that was written by Jeffrey Wolf Green, who actually wrote a definitive literature on, from an evolutionary perspective on the planetary force of Pluto. So the evolutionary principle itself correlates with Pluto. For our purposes, Pluto specifically correlates to the soul and its evolution. The soul can be defined as an immutable consciousness or energy that cannot be destroyed. So the soul is that which is energy, is just pure energy, and it comes from the realm of consciousness itself, and consciousness is energy. So energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. And so that's the Plutonic playground or classroom, how to transform that energy that is our consciousness. The archetype or dynamic of desire is the causal factor or driving dynamic that generates the soul's evolutionary progression from life to life. So this isn't in our first circus, right? We've been here before, and through this process of involution and evolution, we grow into our highest, which ultimately is to either seek an approach to the creator or to seek to move away from the creator. And it's these two dynamic forces which are always at place. We are either seeking to get closer to the creator, the creative principle that is life itself, or we're seeking to move away from it. And it is in this dual dynamic that Pluto operates. One desires to separate from the source of the soul. The other desire is to return to the source of the soul. The evolutionary progression of the soul is based on taking action on all separating desires over great length of time until finally the soul exhausts itself of these types of desire to the exclusion of the only desire that can remain, the desire to reunite its sense of identity with the source itself, and the source being pure consciousness, pure awareness, not a creator or the creation, but the source that gives rise to all of it, and that is consciousness. So this is the path that Pluto will take us in, regardless of how attached or unattached we may be or we may feel about the different things, people and places in our life. But this is also our divine purpose. So it's not, I'm not trying to elicit fear in your heart. I simply want us to become aware that there is a change of guard at the door, and the rumblings have already begun. You have experienced them in your own being. You know that something is amiss. You know that there's something new that you want to create. As Pluto leaves the sign of Capricorn, those of you who have been doing the work, who took the lesson to heart and who went into the deepest, darkest recesses of your own consciousness to experience that transmutation, that change that was required of you, so that you can move on to the next evolutionary rung, the next evolutionary rung in the ladder of your own evolution. Now you will see some wealth being, coming your way in terms of those things that are in alignment, because you have positioned yourself in alignment. This happened back in March. In March, we had an opportunity. And Pluto will give you no other choice but solitude. Pluto will remove anyone. You will scream to the space, I need help, and people will listen to you, but nothing will move in the direction of providing you that help until you move yourself in the direction of helping yourself. And that's how Pluto operates. It allows you to reclaim your ground and reclaim your power, so long as you're not giving it away. And due to its nature, it is so compulsive and so obsessive and so stealth in its workings, that if you fall into the addiction of people, places, and things, and you don't seek a higher ground through uplifting yourself spiritually. And remember what I said in the previous video, spirituality is not why we're here, is how we live, right? So it's not, oh, I'm a spirit, I feel a spiritual inclination. That's not it. It's living your life like it's walking the talk, right? Like, the spiritual lessons are going to come, but are you transforming your life in such a way that allows you to live in that spirit? And that's the lesson that Pluto is here to give us. And so it will leave no stone unturned. It is the god of the underworld, the god of the mineral kingdom, the god of the underbelly, the people who live on the fringes. Those are the people that come to visit with us during when Pluto is super active in our chart, is perhaps making a transit across a pivotal point in your chart, the ascendant, the 4th house, the 6th house, the top of your chart, right? The 10th house. Those are places where Pluto does his magic. And if it's transiting a force like the moon, I said the ascendant, this was transiting the moon, your sun, one of the trans-Neptunian, Saturnian planets, such as Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. That's its field of operation. That's where the Professor Pluto comes to life in a way that you have never seen before. And well, I think I'm going to leave with that. Let me see if there's anything else that I may have. Pluto by sign and house correlates to the types of desires or evolutionary intentions that the soul had before the current life. So Pluto by sign and house will show you the place where you were most intent on progressing in the previous life. And so it is there in this life because that's where you might feel the most level of comfort. But remember, Pluto works by having you, by blowing that out of your life, by blowing security. Wherever your security blanket is, expect for it to be torn away, never to be found. Actually, you will look around your environment at the things, when you get the lesson, you will look at the things that bring you security and you will begin downsizing. Pluto is a minimalist energy. So it requires that you decrease your load. You can't get far if you're carrying too many bags. I've seen that in my life. My stuff has gone into storage and out, storage and back. And every time the load has come back lighter. And so it is. And then you get comfortable and you get lighter in your spirit and you get lighter in your, the load is not so heavy. You're not feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your back. It's not your job. That's not why you're here. You're here to express pure spirit. And Pluto's classroom is where we learn that lesson. Well, I will leave you with that. All blessings. Thank you so much for being here. And if you like, share, and subscribe, please, at below, and you will find the website at the description box. And I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Thank you so much. I love you with all my heart. Take good care of each other and yourselves, and see you soon. Bye.